Hello, my name is SJ, and on behalf of the H7 network, I welcome you today. You can find us online at H7 Network, that is the letter H, the number 7 network.com. I have the pleasure to interview Greg today, and I look forward to having everyone learn a little bit more about him. So Greg, thank you for joining me.
Well, thanks, SJ, for having me on today.
No, it's my pleasure. I have some questions I'd like to ask, and this will fit into H7's Connect, Serve, and Ask model of how we do things. The first question I'd like to ask is, have you shared with everyone about your business?
I try to. My name is Greg Gronwall. Company is ACN. It is a direct selling multi-level marketing company. I've been with them about 10 years now, and they're a 28-year-old company based out of Concord, North Carolina, but we operate in many countries around the world. And I've gotten a lot of pleasure out of doing it. And I like to think I'm rather successful at it. So it is getting customers, and there's a lot of things in the background of it that we are a big company about giving back to the local communities. So we're very heavily involved in the Ronald McDonald houses around the country. And also here in the United States, we've got a couple projects of feeding children. Every time a customer signs up for one of our services, our company donates a meal to the local food bank where that customer resides. And then every time they pay their monthly bill, our company donates another meal. So we've done millions and millions of meals over the last 5 years that we've been doing this program. So it's very rewarding.
Thank you for sharing. That is a powerful backstory to the company. Another question I'd like to ask is flipping the switch a little bit, Greg, to a little bit more personal. Is I'd like to hear you share whatever you feel like the folks who watch and listen to this should know about your family, about hobbies, interests, where you grew up, where you live now. Anything on that front would be very interesting to those who will be able to see and watch this here in the near future.
Sure. I'm originally from Tonawanda, New York, which is right between Buffalo and Niagara Falls, and grew up there. And actually, I moved down here to the Cincinnati, Ohio area in 1987. I was transferred down here for work. The company was based out of Buffalo, New York, and we had a satellite sales office down here. And it was the machine tool business, stamping presses, press brakes, shears, and some auxiliary equipment like that. The company I worked for was about an 800 employee company and had been around for over 100 years at that point. Family owned, which was kind of uncommon at that, let's say in the mid 80s, but it stayed right around in the business for a long time. That's for sure. It's a family owned business. Things changed in our industry, and I'm sure a lot of people that maybe are watching this or listening 2008 and 2009 was not a good time for our economy, unfortunately. It affected everybody in some way, whether it was good or bad, you're indifferent, it affected some people every way. Anyway, I got let go. I was downsized, and I had an opportunity to get introduced to network marketing. And I had never done anything like that before in my life. I traveled a lot for my sales job, so this was kind of interesting to start network marketing, and just a whole different concept. It's been around for years and years and years and years, but you know, a lot of people don't understand the, I guess, the intricacies of it. But it's a very interesting industry and business, and it's a huge industry and business, that's for sure. So I started doing network marketing, and it's what I'm doing now with H7 and network marketing business. It kind of ties in together because it is what they call networking. You've got to talk to people and you make those connections with people. So it's been very, very rewarding. So, and I stayed here since moving down here. Never had the temptation, I guess, to go back to Buffalo, but or that area. Did go up and visit for quite a few years in a row, but don't have too much family up there anymore, unfortunately. So my brother lives down in Atlanta, and his wife, and my niece and my nephew live up in the Columbus, Ohio area now. So don't have to go back all the way up to New York to see family. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, thank you. That covers the Empire State of New York and the and then the Buckeye State of Ohio and a little bit of Indiana too, little Hoosier State going on there. Well, thank you for sharing. That's
and the Peachtree State of Atlanta or Georgia.
yes, that's right. 4 states covered, Greg. Very cool. Well, thank you. That's very illuminating. Another question I'd like to ask is what were you doing? Well, actually, you sort of answered this, but if you want to add to maybe just a little flavor, but before you started ACN, you were working in that business you shared. So maybe a better way to phrase this would be, why are you doing ACN right now? And what was the first thing that got you started in ACN after you were downsized?
I actually got introduced to ACN through my dentist's daughter. And she was involved in it. And I actually got a phone call from my dentist's office reminding me I had a dental appointment. And the woman that called me was the mother of the daughter. So I thought, okay, I know them very well, socialized with them. And she had said to me, she goes, hey, Megan is involved in this business. And she didn't even get the letters right. It was kind of funny, but she says, you might want to call Megan and just see if you might be interested in this. So Megan and I connected, who I have known over the years. And I got started with ACN pretty quickly after that. So I've been doing it for 10 years, as I said. And that was about the same time I got involved with H7. So
nice. So so both of them overlap. Very, very neat.
I would say they almost tie in time-wise exactly the same, SJ. Pretty much almost when I started ACN, I got involved with H7. So
well, that leads great into the last question I have for you today. So you've been a member of this community for about 10 years, as you said. So why have you stayed in the community this long? What do you like most about H7? Do you have any favorite members or meetings or highlights you'd like to share?
Be glad to. I'm actually at part of the leadership team for the Harrison, Ohio meeting. And we meet the 2nd and the 4th, normally, not under COVID conditions, but normally we meet the 2nd and 4th Thursday of each month at 11:30, and we run it until about 1 o'clock. So we do meet during the lunchtime hour, and we do meet at a restaurant. It's called Market Street Grill in Harrison, Ohio. As I say, I'm on the leadership team there. I do attend some other meetings, but I kind of focus on the western part of Ohio. Got a lot of connections there, and it's been very rewarding. It really has. I would have never had these opportunities to meet all these people if I wasn't involved in an organization such as this. I've been in a couple other business associations tying in with businesses, but nothing like H7. I mean, it's just been, to me, it's been very rewarding. It's people you would have never met if you weren't doing something like this. So it's, as I say, it's been very, very rewarding. I thoroughly enjoy it. I applaud Clayton and Angel and also his team that he has, because I remember when they started, we'd meet up in Mason, and it was on a Friday morning, I think at 8 o'clock, I think maybe 7:30 or 8, but there'd be like 85 to 90 people at these meetings. And you literally had your 30 seconds to say who you were. And then Clayton used to time it. So he would, make you sit down, the next person would get up. And to go through, let's say 75 to 80 people, it takes a little bit of time. So consequently, you did your networking prior to the meeting or after the meeting. There wasn't too much really going on during the meeting from that standpoint, but it was also, as it grew, obviously a lot more locations and meetings got established, which obviously has spread it out all over the country for Clayton and H7. So I do applaud him for his due diligence and his tenacity, because he's really grown this to something I think very, very, very worthwhile for everybody.
Well, thank you for sharing the backstory, because that's something why this series of videos is very important, folks, is you're getting to meet people like Greg who've been around and have seen the growth of H7. So I'm going to go ahead, Greg, and bid you adieu. And I wanted to, again, thank you so much for creating some time to chat with me today.
Thank you, SJ. I appreciate the offer and the opportunity.
No, my pleasure. So folks, once again, if you want to learn a little bit more about H7 and get to meet Greg and many, many others, you can find us online at H7, the letter H, number 7 network, singular.com. And there is a virtual as well as an in-person calendar out there. Thank you. And everyone, all the best.